Good afternoon, Miss Ricky as an English teacher and Mrs. Justin as a biology teacher. My name is Natasya Felisha. I'm from class 9C, number 25. So today I want to make a tape. The ingredients that we need are cassava, yeast, sugar. This is optional, so it's up to you whether you want to use sugar or not. Banana leaves, steamer, and container. So we're going to the steps for making tapai. The first step is peeling the cassava. But first, we have to cut the ends. Second, we have to wash the cassava. After washing, third, we have to cook the cassava by steaming until cooked. While waiting for the cassava to ripen, we can prepare the yeast first. I smooth the tapai by pressing it with a spoon. After the cassava is cooked evenly, we can leave it and cool it. This is cassava that is boiled before being sprinkled with yeast. Put banana leaves on the container. Banana leaf function is a base and wrapper for tapai. Put all the cassava on top of the banana leaves. Sprinkle yeast evenly throughout the surface of boiled cassava. Then sprinkle a tablespoon of sugar on the cassava. Wrap the cassava that has been sprinkled with yeast and sugar tightly using banana leaves. Then store it in a tightly closed place or container and wait for 3 days. After 3 days, take the container, then take out the tapai. Serve it on a plate and we can eat the tapai. Now I'm going to answer 4 questions about tapai. First question, why does it have to be sprinkled with yeast in making tapai? What are the microorganisms found in tapai yeast? Making tapai must be sprinkled with yeast because the yeast causes fermentation in cassava. And also, the yeast causes the texture of the tapai to become soft. Tapai yeast has many microorganisms. Among them are Aspergillus, Saccharomyces fibulifera, Acetobacter, Amylomyces rhoxi, Saccharomycopsis melana, Pediococcus sp, Mucor sp, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, Bacillus sp, Rhizopus sp, and Pichia burtoni. Second question, why do you have to be sprinkled with yeast when the boiled cassava is cold? Because if the yeast is sprinkled while the cassava is still hot, the cells in the yeast will die, so the cassava cannot be fermented. Third question, why does it have to be closed tightly in making tapai? What process takes place in making tapai? In making tapai, it must be closed tightly so that the yeast used for making tapai can work properly. Fourth question, why is there a change in texture, taste, aroma of the cassava after being roasted and boiled for about 3 days? There is a change in texture. There is a change in texture because the yeast feeds on the glucose in the cassava as food for growth so that the cassava will become soft. There was a change in taste. There is a change in taste because the yeast releases an enzyme that can break down the carbohydrates in cassava into sugar, so that the tapai will taste sweet when it is ripe even though it is not giving sugar. There was a change in aroma. There is a change in aroma due to the fermentation reaction that occurs at 3 days of curing, where the fermentation process produces alcohol and carbon dioxide. Conclusions that we can take are, when making tapai, the yeast will convert glucose into alcohol. The yeast will eat the glucose in cassava so that the cassava becomes soft. Saccharomyces cerevisiae secretes an enzyme that can break down carbohydrates in cassava into simpler sugar. So that's all for me about tapai. Thank you for your attention. Salam MDG.